And now to the other big breaking news of the day. It is, of course, the Trayvon Martin case. In less than an hour, a group of House Democrats will hold a briefing on Capitol Hill to discuss racial profiling, hate crimes, and the controversial Stand Your Ground laws. As I mentioned earlier, Trayvon Martin's parents are expected to attend this forum. Joining me now live from Sanford, Florida, is NBC's Ron Allen. Ron, obviously, that is the central location for the investigation. But let's talk about this visit to Capitol Hill by Trayvon Martin's family. What do we know?
Well, we don't think they're going to testify. We think they are there for moral support, and it's more of a forum than a hearing. It's not really an investigation. And you're right, one of the big issues is this Stand Your Ground law, what some people call shoot to kill. The self-defense law that George Zimmerman here is essentially standing behind in his defense of what he did that night when he shot and killed Trayvon Martin. Here, the investigation continues behind closed doors. It's in the hands of a special prosecutor. The local police here in Sanford are largely out of the picture, they say. At a press conference this afternoon, we asked a lot of questions. They said we can't comment. But the city manager did say that he is taking some steps to address the concern in this community about how the police community relates to the African-American community in particular. It sounds like he wants to set up some kind of independent board to review citizen complaints. Here's some of what he had to say.
I am now in the process of talking with the Department of Justice in instituting a mechanism whereby citizens that have concerns or complaints about the Sanford Police Department can have their concerns heard and investigated by an independent agency.
There's also a lot of concern here about what the parents of Trayvon Martin are calling a smear campaign directed against their son. They say that there are a lot of leaks appearing in the press from the police department, they say, from George Zimmerman supporters that are trying to demonize Trayvon Martin and blame him for what happened. So the tone of things here continues to be very contentious, very emotional, although today we don't know of any protests going on. A lot of the action is up in D.C. where the parents are, where there's going to be a show of support in the streets there in D.C. for them as well, as all this continues.
And Ron, back to the statements made by Trayvon Martin's parents yesterday that the police or whomever is responsible for these leaks, for example, about Trayvon Martin's school record and its suspension, did the police say that at least the information about the suspension came from a source within the department who was not authorized to provide it? What are they specifically saying? How is this being leaked?
I think the police acknowledge that the leaked information is consistent with the information that they have sent to the special prosecutors. And they're talking about the information about what happened that night. They're not talking about the school reports of 3 suspensions of Trayvon Martin during the past year or so. They're talking about the version of events that says what happened and how George Zimmerman reportedly maintains that Trayvon Martin attacked him from behind, knocked him to the ground, broke his nose, bashed his head against the sidewalk, and that Zimmerman then shot him in self-defense. The police acknowledge that that's what they have told the prosecutors. They condemn the leak. They say they're investigating to find out who may have done this, and they say that person would be disciplined and perhaps fired if they can identify him.
All right. Thank you very much, Ron. Greatly appreciate your live report from Sanford. Thank you.